The last unit of this course deals with factors relevant for cross-cultural communication, introduces the notion of linguistic identity, and provides reasons for incorporating elements of culture into foreign language teaching. Apart from cultural dimensions and parameters analyzed in previous units, there are some other factors that need to be understood in depth in order to achieve cross-cultural communicative competence and be able to deal with cultural differences. These factors determine the types of perspectives in a multicultural interaction. Human cognition is culturally dependent and explains the ways we communicate within the linguistic society and contributes to creation of our collective identity. Culture, cognition, and language are mutually dependent. Cognition refers to the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding of reality through experience, thought, and the senses. It guides processes such as knowledge, judgment, comprehension, and production of language, empathy, or the projection of one's own personality into the personality of another in order to understand him or her better, and influences interpretation of cultural contexts. Our cognition also influences our attitudes and behaviors, or social rules, norms, values, beliefs, and it may lead to ethnocentrism or evaluation of other cultures according to the pre-existing concepts, standards, and customs of one's own culture. As already stated, language is behavior, a phase of human activity. Understanding how human beings feel and respond and believe and value is an exceedingly important aspect of a theory of second language acquisition. Part of behavior is affect. It refers to emotions and feelings. Behavioral differences may also result in stereotyping or oversimplified perception of cultures, prejudice, attributing negative characteristics to another nation. Prejudice can be transformed into discrimination of people of different cultures. To sum up, understanding how human beings feel and respond and believe and value is an exceedingly important aspect of a theory of second language acquisition. Due to all those factors we have just analyzed, individuals create their own subjective reality, different from their perception. In other words, their cognition may be biased. The term cognitive biases refers to tendencies to think in certain ways that can lead to systematic deviations from a standard or good judgment. It results in forming stereotypes, prejudice, and so on. A person's pre-established ideas, worldviews, may influence and distort thinking and perception of new culture, create very negative attitudes and inaccurate judgments of behaviors of others. English foreign language teachers are responsible for helping students develop communicative competence. They should incorporate teaching elements of culture and help students learn to respect other cultures. Learning another culture may be influenced by different linguistic identities. Understanding one's own belongingness to a cultural group within all its norms, behaviors, cognition, and what is very important, language, may help overcome the attitudes toward another cultural group. So, cross-cultural communication depends on understanding of other culture, its language, and how it is manifested in linguistic identity. Our linguistic identity is closely linked with cultural aspects of communication, including verbal and nonverbal communication. For example, names parents choose for their children reflect cultural norms, traditions, and thus represent linguistic identity. Let us say the name Jose will not be probably given to a son in Chinese family. Linguistic identity is also revealed in how people address each other in their speech communities, in the use of titles, for example, in code switching, and so on. The same is true about nonverbal signals of communication that vary from culture to culture. Linguistic identity represents a part of intergroup communication within the subculture group and influences cross-cultural communication and is reflected in cultural identity. Being aware of the cultural differences help achieve appropriate understanding and communication between people of different cultures. As it was already stated, this is a responsibility of English foreign language teachers to help in the development of intercultural communicative competence. Teaching a language cannot be separated from teaching culture. The acquisition of a second language is also the acquisition of a second culture. Discuss cross-cultural differences with the students, emphasize that no culture is better than another is very important. English foreign language teachers should dispel what are often myths about other cultures and replace those myths with an accurate understanding of the other culture as one of that is different from one's own, yet to be respected and valued. During the class, teacher can explain the students that cultural connotations use techniques that promote cultural understanding, use role plays to overcome cultural fatigue, bring readings, films, apply simulation games, or use technique known as culture capsules, very brief presentation in class with descriptions of a target culture, country, its customs, beliefs, traditions, and so on, and contrast it with the student's native country. Well, this is all, my dear Master's Program participant. We have concluded this subject. I hope that now you have a clear vision of what is culture, how it manifests itself in behavior, cognition, customs, and in language of people. Being culturally aware is of special importance for you as educators. Remember to always transmit this knowledge to your students and help them develop cross-cultural awareness and become communicatively competent. May God bless you all. I wish you much success in your professional life. Thank you very much.